Typical evening at Men's Frat involves the men getting together, talking for a little while to evolve their conversations with one another. And we watch a little video. We discuss certain things we've learned on that video through a book. They walk us through, they highlight, we make notes, we make observations, and later on for about 45 minutes we make a discussion with one another, about 5 men hopefully or more. And sometimes the discussion goes on for about an hour and 15. It's really where you get a good chance to spend time with the other men and learn about the different ages, the things they've gone through, the things you haven't gone through, and things you are going through.
We get into our groups and have a discussion with about 8 guys, and we get together and we go over the different questions, and it's really good to hear from the different guys and their perspectives, and on how it's either encouraged them or what they took out of the video, and it's just been a real positive experience.
I attended Men's Frat for one reason. I wanted to learn about what I was heading into, what I had been through, and what I'm going through. Other people who can relate, anything I can get from it, things to help me learn.
I wanted to really relate with the guys more than just the typical Sunday where you come in and say, hey, how are you doing? Did you have a good week? That type of thing is, on the surface that's fine, but I don't think we really get into getting to know one another on a better level. As brothers in Christ, Jesus talked about John 13:35, when he was talking to his disciples, and they asked him, how will you know that you are my disciples? And he said, by the love that you have one for another. So it goes on a much deeper level than just, hey, how you doing one day a week? It's more of a brotherhood. I guess what I hoped to take out of it was that I'd be able to see the different stages a little more clearly and hear from the other guys that have been before me, that are older, that have been through different phases, different seasons in life, and that they could actually share their experiences, which would be helpful to me, as well as us sharing our experiences with the younger guys too.
I think out of the whole thing of Men's Frat, I've really learned a lot about and to love and understand more about the 4 phases of manhood: the king phase, the warrior phase, the lover, the friend, how I can relate with the king but not with the warrior, how I can relate to the lover but have trouble with the friend, or somewhere in the mix. It's really good to define what kind of man you are, to know where you're going.
And not just me, but a lot of people I know, the different stages or the seasons of life that we go through, we get so fixated on maybe the current stage that we're in that we don't look ahead to the next stage, or we don't see a brother who's going through something and he's in a different stage of life, or it just helps you to think. It's humbling. At the same time, it's very encouraging to know that the mistakes you make in this life, in a certain stage of life that you're in, a certain season that you're in, that's not the end. There's forgiveness, but a couple of the speakers on the videos alluded to the fact that they'd been through alcoholism, they'd been through drugs, they'd been through losing family, and they're having the best years of their lives now. So they're effective for Christ now, even though they've been through about everything you could possibly have gone through.
The small group time has really been great. You can spend a lot of time with these guys who have been older than you and have been through the things that you've gone through. Or maybe they're older and they haven't, and they don't know what it is, but they may have some sort of knowledge that you don't. We don't know everything, and the best you can get from them might help you. It's really a good amount of time with people to learn, to help yourself advance as a human being and a man.
The best part, I think, of going into the small group setting was we now can open up, we can feel comfortable with one another. We can start sharing stories of, hey, I've been through this is what happened to me, this is what I learned going through this. It's just been a wealth of knowledge that people have shared their experiences, and once they're comfortable, at first it might have been, hey, I don't know these guys that well, I don't know if I'm going to share all of my, but after a while, you get to know one another better, and you just feel more comfortable with one another, it's just been a great experience.
It's really important to have many different generations of people at the table. You have people who are younger than me, people who are older than me, and people in my age category. From the people who are older than me, I'm learning things from them about the stuff they've gone through, the things they've learned, and stuff that I had no clue about. And then the people that are my age, we're going through similar stuff. So we can relate with that. It builds a great friendship. Then you have people younger than me. And those people haven't gone through those things that I've gone through yet. I'm not saying I did everything right, but I have some sort of answer for them.
There's a whole lot of things that I've learned through this that I may have thought I knew. I may have just assumed that, I'm not gonna get anything out of this, or I may have assumed that, I was, totally blown away that it can make a real difference in the fact that, there are things that, I don't know how to put it into words exactly, but there are things that you don't often think of that come up in the videos or the discussions that you say, hey, I never really gave this much thought, but yeah, that's right, and yeah, if you do this or you make the wrong decisions, or this is what's going to happen to your family, this is what's going to happen. If you neglect your family, if you're too tied into your job, or there's just a lot of things. There's a wealth of knowledge and a lot of encouragement you can get from one another that you're not going to get on your own.
If you've never been to men's frat, you don't know all the answers in life. You're not going to know them, and you're going to need people to help you with it. If you don't go to this, you might not get it. This is your biggest opportunity to get that.
And the saying that no man's an island unto himself, and you can be so independent, or you can think, hey, I'm self-sufficient, I can do, the truth of the matter is that we all need one another going through this life, the different stages we're going through. We need brothers in Christ to lift us up, encourage us when we're down. We need brothers in Christ to help us along, even in the accountability part of it, or that we talked about. So I would say to anybody that thinks that I don't need to come, I'd say that's farthest from the truth. I think it's very beneficial if you come. There's a lot of things you'll pick up, and you'll be glad you did.
Anything else you want to add?
Go Red Sox.